I stepped away from a spectacular job that a lot of people would love to have in the efforts of trying to do it myself, work on some cars, spend some time with the family, because of that's what means a lot to me. And I'm thankful for it, is all I can say. I don't want to bring the show down, don't want to get all sappy and junk, but I'm just saying that this stuff is real, and I'm blessed in my skill set, I'm blessed in my family, and I'm blessed with being able to talk to you guys and show you what I know and kind of just have some fun with these old cars. So in the spirit of that, let's get back on this stuff. But I need a quick minute. From where you're at, can you tell that we've got more than one thing to work on? I have a shop full of stuff and I got cars stashed outside. And so what do? What's the solution to like remedy that? Well, you drag something in that you just got and work on it for a little bit, right? Now this is number 4 of the dirty half dozen. 6 barn finds that we have found in effort to drag them out, spruce them up, and get them back out on the road and enjoy them once again. This particular car here, to say it was easy, well, I don't want to say it was easy. It was an easy deal. When I seen this one, I said, man, I gotta have these. For this one, this old car here, it was calling my name. We just drug it out and it about whipped me, to tell you the truth. I mean, it took me just, 3 or 4 hours just to get it out onto the trailer. So what are we gonna do today? We're gonna see if this thing will run. I can't say that it will, because the folks we got it from, they said one of the reasons that it was put up was because of the motor. They don't really know if it was like because it was slow, or if it was knocking, or if it was bad, or if it was boiling the water out of it. They just said he just didn't really like to drive it much because of the motor. If you're just catching up with us, let me give you a little walk around to show you my goodie. Well, that's her. When we first pulled her out, I didn't know if this thing was a 49, 50, 51, but turns out it's a 49. And what really tells you that is those little down bars right across the grill. And that's cool. I mean, that's one of those little bitty things that tells you, it gives it its identity, if you will. Now, is the paint perfect on this old car? It's pretty nice, but by no means is this thing a perfect ride. Over there on the other side, oh, we'll have to show it off over there. It's kind of got a big old boo-boo on it. Now, one thing that I did find kind of interesting is check that out. That's mud splatter from that way. So that tells you that this wheel was going backwards at some point. That's kind of odd. Now, here's some more of that not so goodness. You can see this thing got a little close to something. Now, we could potentially polish that out, or at least make it way less bad, but we got to make sure this thing works. Now, if you also notice, this thing's got aired up tires on it. And it don't really sound like much, but when I pulled this thing out of that barn, it had 3.5 flats. Yep. And all these wheels were basically locked up. Up here on the inside, this is pretty sweet. It's stinky as heck. I didn't realize this thing smelled as bad as it did until we just pushed it in here, which the windows were all up and it's still kind of warm. And it was like all the stuff in here had been marinating and it about knocked me down. And, well, you can see it, there's some yuckiness back there. I'm not talking about the UT, calm down. Go Vols! I'm talking about all the remnants of critters and stuff, and you know what I'm talking about. Now that's pretty good sign on a car. See, we're not really, you're just shutting the door, not having to slam it. Now if you look, you see where there's a little bit of a trail running right through there. Kinda, I'm gonna call that my poison moat. This thing was covered in spider webs. And whenever we took the wheels off of it, yeah, I found some of them ones that like to hang out with old Charlie Daniels, if you know what I mean.
I ain't asking nobody for nothing. If I can't get it on my own.
Yep, a couple of them brown recluse spiders were inside of the hubcaps, and inside the backing plates, and all that kind of stuff. I pulled one of them drums off of this thing, and there was a nest of them. And I asked them if they like brake cleaner, and they said, heck yeah, man. So I gave them a big healthy dose, and next thing you know, they all passed out, and I don't know what happened to them. But that's okay. I'm not judging them and their weaknesses and, you know, what their addictions are. I mean, we all have our problems. It's a lot cleaner than it was whenever we drug this thing out. But that's from whenever I was pulling this thing in. I actually run across a little bit of a rainstorm. And luckily for me, it washed off some of the funk. Is it perfect? No, we're gonna have to give it a bath. But I wanted to make sure that, let's say, it functions first. I think somebody got too close to something hard. Cause that's like a crease. We can make that way better, but first things first. Now, obviously, this thing's got some big old fat white walls, and I wish it had 4 good ones on it. But maybe it will eventually. Check out the hood ornament. I don't know if that thing is stock or not. Any of you guys know if this is, you know, an option? I know though, they had plastic ones in the old Pontiacs with the Indian head and stuff on it. I think they lit up, which was kind of cool. I don't think this one does. We can pop the hood here after a while, but this one's in really nice shape for such of an old car as it is. I really like the emblems and such too, but somebody's touched them up. One of them preschoolers, you can kind of tell because they just like, oh yeah, this is fun. But it's all good. I'm sure they make those. We probably can get some reproduction ones. Now, one thing that I did find a bit fascinating with this car, and I just noticed it today, was the condition of the steering wheel. It doesn't have any cracks in it. And that's, usually they'll have them right down here, right up there. Sometimes it's in an odd space, like right up here. And that's from sawing on the steering wheels. But this one, man, it's really, really, really nice. So that usually is a good sign that the car's either been sheltered or it's low mileage, you know, that kind of thing. The dash in this one's pretty sweet. Stinks in here though. Whew. Stinks bad. I think what we ought to is just see if we can get this thing to turn over, hit, start, run, hammer, make noise, blow up, whatever. And to do that, well, we're gonna have to get started up under the hood. So doing this one-handed, let's see, maybe, ow. Ta-da! So up in here, we have a big old whopping 216 cubic inch 6-cylinder. Yep, ain't she a beaut? Right off the bat, let's just see if it's got any oil in it. Yeah, oil looks pretty good. Show this stuff, do ya? And check that thing out. It's full, and it's just black. Sometimes with oil, it's a good idea to smell it. And that, I'm being serious. You don't want it to smell like gas. You don't want it to be like stinky. You just want it to smell like oil. And also, like touching it on your fingers. You can kind of rub it around. You want it to be slippery. Yeah, man, this thing stinks. It almost smells like there's a dead mouse or something in it. I wonder what it looks like on the inside up there. Grab me one of these little old lights. And it looks pretty good in there. I'm gonna get you all a shot. It's always a good idea to kind of make sure that you don't have any fleas. And to check all your fluids. Woo-wee. Check out that thing. Holy cow. Dry as a bone. And rusty too. I don't think that's factory. I mean, it might be. Oh, it's muddy. Look at that. Looking at all that old funk in there kind of reminds me of the Ghost movie, if you know what I'm talking about. So, let's put that back on, get that thought out of my head. What I want to do first, put a battery in it, and let's just crank her over, just see what happens. Probably ought to take the air cleaner off of it. And that way we can see the carburetors. Now, if everything turns out, maybe it'll work. Not sure if it will, but maybe it will. Carry you guys over here to check out this little engine. Look at that little baby carburetor. Ain't it the cutest little thing you ever saw? Now over in here, the car is in neutral. Put my little flashlight thingy right here so you guys can see. And I'm gonna grab a hold of this fan and hopefully, oh yeah, check out the crankshaft down there. See all that? It's turning. That's what you want. Nope, it's actually getting tight now. Kind of, this whole thing may be building some compression. Oh yeah. That's a good sign. Here's a little tip for you. I want to go ahead and put some fuel in the carburetor. Maybe I shouldn't because it's a flammable liquid, and if we have big gnarly sparks and blah, 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 things might get a little exciting. But the reason for it is I kind of want the carburetor to kind of soak up some gas for a minute. This thing is probably really dry. And I'm using some 2-cycle oil. You know, the stuff that's got the oil in it. The reason for that is that oil can sometimes kind of lubricate the inside of that carburetor. I know that sounds a little weird, but some of these old carburetors, the gaskets in them or the pump can actually be made of leather. Oil can help that stuff. It can kind of help soften some of them things up a little bit in efforts to not having to rebuild the carburetor right now. It may cause that pump to loosen up just enough so that it'll work. And you know, that would be pretty awesome. And so all you gotta do is right here in the center, you got the little 45-degree hose. Pour a little of this stuff in there. Just let it hang out for a minute. All the time while you'll be doing all your other work, that thing is marinating. Makes sense, don't it? Real easy. My mouth just right. Okay. Alrighty, now it's time to, I need to get my light set up. Okie dokie. Now, let's get this out of the way. Grab me a battery. Hopefully no sparks fly. That ain't sitting quite right. Oh, it's got all these hickory nuts in it. Woo-wee. Man, that battery cable right there is funky. Jeez Louise, I don't know if I've ever seen a battery cable that bad. Wow. I'm not trying to be like, oh no, will it run? Ah! Well, dang. Check that thing out. It's green and crunchy. But if I tap it, stuff will fall off of it. Ugh. So, I gotta clean these battery cables. Check out the smoke. And I bet that's full of bad stuff. Something cancerous. Something that'll make your head hurt. This may take a while. This is where I should tell you a story about a spider bite. You know what I'm talking about? We're not gonna get into that. While I've been sitting here cleaning these, I just heard somebody pull up. Could be old Pops. We'll just have to see. What's going on, wild man? Come on in, Pop. Come on in, Pop. We fixing to hook a battery up so you get to climb in there and hit the key for us. Careful, don't get none on you.
have a 53 panel truck. And I used to hop right around in it.
Yeah? Yeah, you don't be bumping the camera. You'll be having the people at home going like, geez Louise, he's playing the drums. Yeah, if you will, Pop, climb off in there. I'm gonna put the battery on and maybe there's not a bunch of smoke coming out. Whew, that makes me nervous. I wonder if this silly thing's, I don't know on this old one. I don't know if this is like negative, positive ground or whatever. This battery cable is small on this one. Let me see. No, I think it's regular. Bump a key. This thing may be a floor start. Turn the headlights on. Let's see if that works. I may still have, headlights work. All right. Come on, Pop. You should know these old cars. Oh, you found it.
Yeah.
Bump it one more time. Okay. It's turning. That's a good sign. I want to do a tune-up now, because I bet all that stuff is funky. You got any crazy stories about a 49 Chevrolet?
Well, I had a 53 Chevrolet panel truck, and Mr. Griggs, the transmission was messed up. He told me to Tommy pull it out, he'd rebuild it for me. I said, okay, so I pulled it out, and he rebuilt it, but I forgot to put the gear on it. He pulled it out. He said, boy, I ain't gonna do it again now. He put it back together, figured it out. He got it in there. Ran in there. I run the fire out of it.
Well, I'm going to pull the wires. Man, I don't know. I guess I need to check out the firing order real quick before I get too carried away. Man, as old as these are right here, I bet you these silly things, I could just be easy with it and take them loose from the plugs. We'll take the coil wire off.
Some of the old ones have a push button starter.
Look at there. As long as I don't take this apart, I'll have the firing order. I'm gonna pull the plugs out of this thing too. I'm curious what they're gonna look like. Yikes! I'm gonna go ahead and unhook the battery, just for giggles. My old man's in there. He likes to play practical jokes sometimes.
I used to.
Cute. That thing's still good there. We're gonna have to put some points or something in here. Man, they're easy to get to. They're a lot better than that stupid Plymouth we worked on. Whew. I don't even like thinking about that thing. Come on, let's go. Little bitty stuff. Yeah. When we're looking at these, we could probably actually clean them up. They're not terrible. A little bit of some sandpaper and I bet them dudes would like. You've probably heard the saying that things aren't made like they used to. Or I just dug out a pair of these points that I'd got some replacement, I can't even talk, replacement ones. Pop, I'm talking to the camera over here. So as I was taking these things apart, I noticed they're a little different. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is the ones that come out. And this is the new ones. That is the little spring that it kind of pulls over there and keeps the tension on the point so that they open and close. That one has it, but this one has a little contact strip that goes over to the little terminal. This one doesn't have it. So looking at this, I don't know if this one's made wrong, if it's made correctly, and then this is just extra. But I'm not willing to chance it. These aren't horrible. So I'm just gonna sand them, brighten them up if you will. Use my little file. But are these right? Or are these wrong? Let me know. Okie doke. Now we get to put my new used point set back in there. So good news about that is I pretty much don't have to worry about setting them, because they'll just go back to the way they were, if I can get them in there. Come on, silly thing. Then we gotta put the little strappy thing up there. A big hit's probably in the weight. Stick that in there. Push that down. Then we can screw in there. Please start. Come on, baby. Everything's so quiet. There's no reason for it to be quiet. Got that started. Now, tighten this up. I'll take 2 hands here. Let's see if we can get this a little further. Like that wrench is almost the right size. That may have gained us some room. Got it. Whew. I think we are going to have to adjust it because that points gap is massive. You talk about using that matchbook to set the points. Whew. It had the matches in there too. Now, one of the things I've been told by some of them old timers like Pop sitting over there in the driver's seat that back in the days, folks used to keep matchbook in the glove box and a set of points just in case they ever went out on you. You could use that matchbook to kind of set them whenever you were installing your new points. I don't have a matchbook, but I do have the box that the points came in. You know, the ones that are may or may not be made correctly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this little end here and tear it off of there. And the thickness of this cardboard is what I'm going to use to set that thing just to see if it's accurate. Now this thing on this old Chevrolet is supposed to be 16 thousandths. So that means plus or minus, well, it'll start and run. So we're going to try this trick just to see if it works. So what you do is take this, put it in the gap there. Now obviously this thing's loosey-goosey. See, super floppy. What you'd want is this thing to just have a little bit of drag on it. That's tight, so you loosen it up. And then on these old school ones, you turn this thing, it's kind of like a cam. See, and it moves that point around, or your contact around. You also want to make sure the little finger of your point, or your contact, I keep saying points, is on one of the cam lobes, or distributor lobes here. So, with ours, it's right there on it. And that looks a little bit wide. So let's tighten it up just a little. Come on, baby. Oh yeah, see, let's get just a little bit of drag on it. You'll notice when I pull off of there, you'll hear it go thump. That's her right there. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to tighten that up. Rookie. Let's open it up just a little. This is very precise. As precise as a piece of cardboard can get. Yep, that's where we're at. Now tighten up the right screw, idiot. Double check it. Yep. Very good. That's tight, that's tight, that's tight, that's tight. You put a rotor button on here, and then a new cap and some plug wires. I'm also going to put a new set of plugs in this thing. It being as old and as funky as it is, I don't know the condition of them. I know the cap is kind of burnt looking. Now a lot of times that happens from this stuff just sitting around and getting some age on it. It'll corrode with moisture and all that kind of junk. Sometimes you can make them run, but they won't run well. We picked up these things online, the little tune-up, if you will, and it was astronomically cheap. I think The rotor was like $1. The contact points was $1.50. The plugs, wires was $10. So the most expensive thing was the spark plugs, and they were, I think, $1.40 something cents a piece for your standard old AC Delco R45s. Yes, of course, for supercharged. You gotta have supercharged spark plugs. I think I got dirt on my face. Oh man, you guys are gonna judge me. I ain't worried about it. It's cool. I'm gonna put old Pops to work. If he will, let him pull a set of plugs out of this thing. Scared to put that socket and ratchet somewhere. It's gonna cause some sparks. I'm gonna pull one of these out. I'm just curious. There you go. I'll let you take the rest of these out. I'm come around here on this side. Go ahead, Pop. Take her out. While Pop's doing that, this thing has R45 nothings on it. What the online store said, it required an R45S. That means it's longer. Hopefully this high compression 6-finger isn't gonna smush my plug. We'll just have to see. That could be why this thing is as black and as funky as it is. Could be kind of pulled out of that hole where it's supposed to be, where this one would be more in the cylinder, would be a little bit more of a efficient spark, if you will. This one may have been a little bit shielded. So we're gonna put some plugs in it. Let's see if you'll, light off. Pop, we get it running, you gonna go for a ride with me?
I guess, as long as it's not too late.
I mean, it's got brakes, they're just in the trunk. Guess I better quit jawing and start hurrying up and giving you spark plugs so you can start putting them in. I ain't used to working with this kind of help. That was a jab at myself.
You already got it?
Yes, sir. I'm trying to give you some light so you can see. I'm curious what this whole thing's gonna sound like. They said they didn't want to. They said he didn't drive it much because of the motor. So I don't know what that means. Like if it's bad, we may fire it up and it's knocking.
Knocking or something.
Yeah. Cross threads, tight threads.
Yeah. Don't want to do that.
Make sure that and tight. I think, yeah, you swapped that one. Yep. You can probably get that one. Yeah. I'll move this up here. Get you some light. There you go.
See, I gotta take that out.
Yeah, take it now. Sorry about just a moment ago, guys. I don't know if y'all noticed, but while Pop was putting those plugs in, and I'm having a little trouble even talking about it now. I'm kind of I like to have a good time. I like to joke around. I like to, I like all that stuff. That's what you're supposed to be. You're not here very long a lot of times, meaning you're not promised tomorrow is what I'm referring to. And just a second ago, with my old man sitting here putting them plugs in this old Chevy, I kind of was watching his hands, and it made me think of me as a kid watching my old man. That little old man that was just in here is quite a guy. You hold the ratchet? I don't know what you...
I'm out trying to get this.
A lot of the local folks around here know my old man, and knows my mom too. They talk about how, well, my joking way to say it is when people say, man, your old man and your mom, man, they are something. And I said, yeah, it kind of makes me mad sometimes. And then people start looking at me funny. And I said, the reason I'm upset is because those folks set the bar so darn high. I don't think I'll ever be able to reach that. And then they laugh and we go on and that kind of stuff. So, yeah. You still gonna go for a ride with me with no brakes? I'm thankful for that old man of showing me the ropes, giving me opportunities to fail, which gave me opportunities to succeed. And I'm blessed in my skill set, I'm blessed in my family, and I'm blessed with being able to talk to you guys and show you what I know and kind of just have some fun with these old cars. So in the spirit of that, let's get back on this stuff. But I need a quick minute. Well, here we are now. We've got new plugs in, we've got new cap, new rotor. Oh, I didn't put the rotor in. Now that I think about it, I gotta do that. Okay, so we got cap, wires, plugs, points, got a new rotor to put in. I put a little fuel in over there in that carburetor earlier. I'm gonna put a splash more. We were bumping the key over there earlier, had it turning around. So we're gonna see if this silly old thing will light. Hopefully not on fire, but it will actually start up. Let me put that point or that rotor on real quick. It don't take but just a second. I didn't wanna bore you guys with showing you how to put these spark plugs, wires and stuff on because it's super simple. So yeah, let the festivities begin. Heck, I'm just gonna put this old one back on. Use my denim here to brighten that thing up, and then give up on that. Grab your points file, brighten that brass up just a little bit. That good? Take a couple little quick snaps. Yep. Oh, I totally didn't put that rotor on. Come on, baby. Find your spot. There we are. 1 and a 2. Really curious if this old thing's gonna fire off. So we're gonna dump some gas in it. Okay. Before we fire it up, I want to open the door because it's probably gonna fumigate us, to say the least. And got a few of them goodies we were talking about earlier. Let's see here. This is kind of exciting. Slide off in here. Now, this thing don't have any kind of neutral safety, but it does have an ignition switch and then a starter button. Nope. Right there maybe. Pop hit one somewhere. What did he do? Is this the starter? What did my old man do? Like my old Chevy truck had one. Where is it? What's that? Nope, that's like a fan blower motor or something. Well, I found the problem. Well, I thought about the problem. I didn't hook the battery back up. Kind of get all wrapped up and you get all excited and you're like, man, let's fire this thing up. Let's get it going. Let's get her purring. And then you realize, no battery cable. What would you call me right now? You're welcome to. Say something. I know, we all get excited. We all get cranked up. Key switch is on. I think that is my button. Now it's time to do a little more diagnosing. I'm really curious if it's just thirsty. Like if it's just dry. Let me grab some ether. Let me see if I got some starting fluid. Sometimes starting fluid causes it to react a little different. I've seen them fellas on the tubes and the gram that puts a little of this stuff in there. Let's just see what the heck can happen. Shut up! Shut up! Check out it out of fuel though. Shoo-wee. When I come out from around there just a second ago, yep, you can see the soot that it blew out of there. But it was puffing black smoke. No, that stuff's gone now. Well, that was pretty sweet. If you notice when it started, my back's itching, hope it's not a spider. But when this thing started, it didn't hammer, it didn't knock, it didn't make crazy noises like there was somebody on the inside trying to get out with a ball peen hammer. I know it's out of coolant. Obviously it's out of gasoline, but it did run. It technically ran. So let's check out the gas tank. Now at first glance, other than the raccoon or kitty cat or whatever critter it was, there's no black mold growing around this area, which is usually the ethanol funk. Now I'm gonna flip this thing up. Hopefully there's no wasp, critters, snakes, anything in there. Whoa, a little skittish. First glance, all's okay. Let's check the gas cap out. Gas cap's clean. Gas neck is clean. It's dry. Don't judge. What's funny is it don't really have a scent. So I'm gonna chance putting gasoline in it. We may have like a cracked fuel line. We may have a bad fuel pump. But what if it does pick it up? What if it does run? Now, obviously, if we were going to strike out and go over some three statewide drive, we'd want to change and check all that stuff. But for the sake of just hearing this thing run, I'm going to see if I got some gasoline. We're just going to dump it in there. I have a question for you folks. Do you see this? Do you guys know any Corvette guys? I worked on a 53 or 52, no, 53, no, wrong. 54 Cadillac, can't even talk. 54 Corvette. It had a gas cap, something very similar to this thing. And when you look these things up for a Corvette, they are like $200 for original ones. Is this the same cap? I'd almost say if it's original for this era car, it may be the same, but it may not. Now, in one of our other little shows, my little man kind of told on me, I guess you could say, about some fuel that we was running. You guys may know what I'm talking about. It's higher octane. It's what some people call is dry gas, as opposed to wet gas. But with a little bit of that red bottle that I just poured in there, it makes it wetter. It makes it so that them engines like it gooder. That really wasn't a whole lot of gas. That's really all I got here. Hoping it's enough to, you can pick it up. But either way, if it's got enough that marvel in it, that gas, if that diaphragm goes bad, it can go in there inside the engine and help, let's say, freshen it up in there. Let's try a little more of that weed eater gas, see if it works. We're gonna take this off of here and take this, and you see the little bitty thing. I'm gonna try to pour. Okay, come on, focus. Here we go. That's so crazy. It ran until it run out of fuel. Like I said, I don't know if that's gonna have enough in it to make it run long. Slide in there, pump a switch. We almost need a jug and an electric pump, or a new fuel pump, or more gasoline. Maybe the pump may be pump shot. Maybe the fuel line stopped up. Maybe the fuel line's cracked. Maybe the gas tank stopped all the way up. Oh, darn it. Time for me to find something up with the fuel system, though. We gotta get this fixed. Picked it up. Hot dog. Ah. Well, it ran long though. We probably ought to put some coolant in it or something. Now think about that. Okay, so for coolant, all we're gonna put in here is water. I'm not gonna waste the money of putting antifreeze in it, cause potentially it's all gonna leak out of the bottom. So we're gonna have to get this thing eventually fixed, or maybe put some stop leak in it. But I don't wanna just put antifreeze in it and then like leak in the floor and all that stuff. So I'm just gonna put water in it till we get this thing dialed in, you know, save some money. That way you don't waste antifreeze, cause that stuff's like $15, $20 a gallon now. And that thing's gonna hold at least probably 4 gallons of this stuff, 2 gallons of antifreeze, so that's 40 bucks. Y'all get the deal. We just gonna leave it at that. It might fire back. It might not, but it might. It very possibly took a bunch of chunks of nonsense and crammed it through that carburetor. So I'm gonna pour some back into the bowl of this thing. I'm also gonna give it one of them love taps. See if I can massage it with a Let's try it again. Key on. Carburetor is gummed up because when you crack it open, it wants to die. So right now it's only operating on the idle circuit, and I'm starting to get sprinkled with something. So we got water leaking from somewhere. You barely crack it open. Real easy. Fuel pump's working though, because that means it's supplying it to the carburetor. In all reality, you might be able to let this thing like set overnight. It might help loosen that carburetor up. Ah, rascal. Pour a little more gas in here, and I want to check if it will do it. All right, I just gave her a little healthy swig of some high proof. So what I want to do now, just for my curiosity's sake, is I want to see if I can crank it up, let it idle again, and I want to put it in gear, forward and reverse, just to see if it'll move. And that'll tell me if the clutch is stuck in it. Both fingers crossed that it's not. So let's just see. Come on, fire up, fire up. Stay running. Stay running. That did it. That means she moves. We're gonna have to do some work on the carburetor. We're gonna have to do some work on the radiator because it's kind of raining back here, it felt like. I don't know, maybe just get a couple of them tablets, if you will, and we may see what this carburetor does tomorrow. But either way, this is a success. We spent a little bit of money, a little bit of time, hung out with some family, and that's what it's all about. We're gonna have to get this thing spruced up now, and we're gonna have to fix the brakes because Pop ain't gonna ride with me without the brakes in it. Not sure what you guys think about it, but I'm digging it. So, guys, I appreciate all the work that you're doing with me. You know, following along, clicking that subscribe button, giving us those shares, and giving us those comments. So, until next time, y'all know what's up. Y'all keep it between the ditches, and we'll see y'all soon. This is so cool. Oop. Found the leak. Water pump's leaking. Ah, man. It's dripping. Sure enough is. She didn't like that. I might should have called it a night.